Let's continue, shall we? Chapter 164. I love my country. And we got Django at naval headquarters on trial with the verdict, death by hanging. Poor Django. Back in flashback land, we got Vivi being attacked by the unsavory looking characters, apparently. Koza. Get that to stick in my brain. He's going to come up. Koza is telling her to run for it and trying to protect her. He commands the Sansan band to protect her. Vivi runs for it, and some of them follow her, and the Sansan band did everything they could to stop these guys from going after her, but ultimately they are defeated, and Koza ran after Vivi and her pursuer towards the ruins, and Igram steps in on this, and he too heads that direction. In the ruins, Vivi is set upon by said unsavory characters, or at least one of them. Koza catches up with them and puts himself in between Vivi and the kidnapper guy. And Vivi doesn't want him to die for her, but he seems willing to. And he gets wounded here. He gets slashed in the face and the eye. And then the other two show up. Because in the process of getting slashed in the face, Koza actually knocks this guy out. Then the other two pursuers show up. So they might have been slowed down, but they were not taken out. Igram and the king show up and handle the kidnappers with ease. Let's just say they're done. Back at the palace, Koza's got a bandage over his eye, and Vivi's upset because she doesn't want anyone to die for her, especially them. She's worried about her friends, is what Igram says. Koza says, "This is sure to be important. Vivi's my friend. I'd never let anybody hurt her." And the king asks Koza if he loves this kingdom, and Koza says, "Of course, this is my country." So they have a little connection there. This is where, this bond is formed. We learn more about the king. He prizes the fact that Princess Vivi has a relatively soft heart. And we see that Igram is completely loyal to the king, even though he may not completely be sure that Vivi's up to being able to make the kind of difficult decisions you might have to make in this position. Koza and his father are being tasked with building up Yuba, which is the town that we just saw that was dried out, with Koza's father trying to dig it out or dig to water or doing whatever he was doing. But this is where they get set off to do it. It's an important job, and they take it seriously. And this is an important element of how the rebellion comes to be, eventually, once the dance sand thing happens. The king sends Toto off to build the city of Yuba to strengthen and make the kingdom richer, right? And Koza says farewell to Vivi. Back in the present, we get reminded it hasn't rained in Koba for 3 years. And Toto still has faith in the king. Obviously, Koza does not, because this is where we see for sure he is the current day leader of the rebels. This kingdom has gone to the dogs, and he still has the scar from that moment. And that's the end of the chapter. Chapter 165, Operation Utopia. Take the cover of this here. The straw in the barrel. There we go. Chopper looks funny eating there. So we get one more flash of Vivi and Toto in the past, saying we won't see you for a while, Vivi, but I hope you'll visit us when the city is settled. And then we're back in the present, where Toto and Vivi are talking, and Toto's much older, and much skinnier. I don't think he's appears sickly skinny, not just skinny because he's out there alone in the desert necessarily, but that could do it. But I don't know. It seems like he's drawn, like there's more going on there. Vivi promises Toto that she's going to stop the rebellion. With that, I guess Usopp decides it's time for him to go to sleep. I don't know. And there's hilarity and there's a bit of a pillow fight. Everyone's enjoying themselves for a second there. Why not? Luffy starts helping Toto dig for water. He digs himself into exhaustion and passes out. And everyone's passed out. Meanwhile, we are here at Rain Base, specifically Rain Dinner, the casino, where this meeting is going to take place, where the heads of the Baroque Works have gathered, and they rode that, or took the cart with Bunchy or whatever. This Merry Christmas is here, sort of greeting them, getting them settled, letting us know it's Rain Dinner's casino at Rain Base where they're at. And then Crocodile makes his entrance, and everyone's surprised that it's him who's actually the leader of the Baroque Works, because nobody really knew. Now everybody knows. So now that's not an issue that people know really anymore, but I guess that's because he's about to, this is his plan coming to fruition. So everything he's working for is about to go down, so to speak. Some of them are a little surprised they're working for a pirate. They didn't. That's kind of funny. And not just any pirate, really. One of the 7 warlords of the sea, and a pretty seriously powerful pirate. But apparently his goal is that he wants military might, and this is how he's going to get it. I guess that means he wants the military of both the rebels and the kingdom. I don't know. Not sure I understand that exactly, but there's also something else. He reveals some kind of ultimate aim, the ultimate goal of the Baroque Works, and we don't hear it, but the agents do, and they are very surprised. Yeah, this gets them on board, whatever it is. So eventually we'll find that out. According to Crocodile, the time has come for Arabasta to disappear. Right there. A toast on this. In a single night, the kingdom will become our utopia. Back to Luffy. Toto did end up digging up some water in that hole that Luffy helped him dig. Just a little bit, so they have a tiny little bit of water. Now they've got to decide what to do. And Luffy doesn't want to go confront the rebels, so he quits. And he doesn't even say that's why. I just know that that's kind of why. But he says, I quit, and that's the end of the chapter. Which brings us to chapter 166. Let's get into Luffy versus Vivi, because Luffy just said he quit on her plan. Side note, I guess Django's trying to dance himself out of that. I don't know. I mean, I guess he already had the verdict of hanging, but there's some kind of dancing. It looks like it's still in the courtroom. Full bodies, manly dance with tearful protests. Apparently he doesn't want Django to die. I don't know. So back in the casino. Operation Utopia, can you wait a minute? It's Mr. 3 who has showed his face. Followed them from the Spider Cafe, which is why we saw a little bit of him there, so we'd know he was there. And he was able to follow them. And he didn't complete his mission, but the fun part is here, Crocodile thought he had, because he talked to, I think it was Sanji, and Sanji pretended to be Mr. 3 way back when. Giant on the island with the giants fighting on him. Broggy. And the other one. Dory and Broggy, right? Wonder what they're up to. Anyway, so now he finds out they did not take care of the Straw Hats. This is a little bit of a chink in their plan. He thought this was taken care of already, and it's not. It's also why the Unluckies never returned. I don't remember if they actually got killed or if they're out there trying to keep track of them. I don't remember what actually happened there now. But that's why they didn't come back, and they had to send like those lizards or whatever to notify the billions to get ready for this. Anyway, once they clear up that little incident, I think it's Mr. 2 realizes he knows these guys because he met them and he cloned most of them. So he shows the face of Chopper, Usopp, Nami. It looks like Zoro and Luffy. Doesn't have Sanji on here, is the one he missed, and they know what Vivi looks like already, so it doesn't matter. Oh, it does. He does show. Yeah, because Miss Wednesday was Vivi. So anyway, they know they know Crocodile's true identity, which is why he wanted to get rid of them. Plus, I'm sure Vivi, he had plenty of reason to get rid of her anyway. But now they might interfere with their plans. So yeah. Oh yeah, they bring up the animal, but he was cloned, so he doesn't count the pet for some reason. That's a mistake. I was understandably disappointed with Mr. 3 and starts choking him. Doesn't kill him initially, but then he drops him down into an underwater tank with a bunch of crocodiles swimming around. A banana gator, apparently, is what this is called. This is the tank. The gator, huge aquarium, banana gator. So that's what that thing is, huh? He wants them to burn their faces into their memory. So Nami, Vivi, Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro. They don't have Sanji's face. That's it. And he's the one that pretended to be Mr. 3. So Crocodile's aware that Vivi and Koza were close at one point. So he doesn't want them to meet because he doesn't want her to potentially defuse the situation. I guess they're 700,000 strong. So yeah, that would be tough. So some of his billions are in the rebel forces. He's going to do what he can to make sure that Vivi and Koza must not meet. That's what this is all about. Most of all, he tells them to have fun at the end. It's the eve of our utopia. Nothing must thwart us. Have fun. Anyway, back to Luffy quitting. He's quitting because he wants to go kick Crocodile's butt. That's why he's quitting. He doesn't want to go to Calderia and talk to the rebels. He just wants to go straight to Crocodile and kick his butt. He talks Vivi into it over the idea that they're going to end up fighting if they go to the rebels and people are going to die. And if they go take out Crocodile, this is just over, right? Theoretically. So after Luffy and Vivi kind of have it out a little bit, she ends up agreeing because he's like, then let us help you. We're your friends, aren't we? And she really wants to kick Crocodile's butt anyway. So she gives into this plan. And they decide to go find Crocodile. And Luffy's like, at the end of the chapter, all right, so where do we find this crocodile? Next video is going to be here. Go there. Keep watching. Like and subscribe.